Welcome, my friends, to our early look at Moonbreaker, coming to us from the creative mind of Brandon Sanderson, the development team behind Subnautica. This is a digitized tabletop strategy game that really leans into all of your pieces being miniatures. There is a painting feature to be able to customize your warband. When you take a list into battle, then you have a captain that is our central unit. If it dies, you lose the game. It is very akin to Duelyst in that we get effectively a hand of cards that we're able to play with mana, which they're calling Cinder, and then once you play a card, it becomes a tactical piece on the digitized board. We're going to rush into an early match here just to see how things run, how the gameplay really comes together. I've tinkered around with this list just a tiny bit. We'll break it down as we actually get into battle and talk about the different features here, and then we'll go on. We might do a little bit of painting. I'm not going to dive into it too much right now and talk about the rest of the features that are available here and what will be coming when we get the official launch of early access at the end of the month. Right now, it's free on the weekends, this weekend and next weekend, running Friday into, I believe it ends on Monday, is the free sample. Absolutely wonderful. So that, what we just saw, was our opening hand of units that are effectively cards that we'll be able to cast. These are bonuses that we'll be able to leverage. The dots is their cooldown, how long it takes to be able to cast them, but otherwise they are free. Corrosive particles, very powerful, stacking on damage to units. If we are trying to focus fire, we'll be able to get a lot of extra damage. And then stasis field, stunning an opposing unit, looks like the most desirable combination. Those are always randomized, and there's more than 6 options. I'm not quite sure how many total there are, but more than 6 to definitely keep the game fresh. We can scroll around here. The opponent is rocking the same captain unit that we are. We're running a ranged support captain. There are 3 captains in the game right now, but then otherwise, even though there are different factions in the game, they're very loosely associated. You can bring units in with your warband that are belonging to any faction. So here, boost morale, that will decrease the cost of the units in our hand. We'll end turn to let the opponent think over what they're going to do as we look at our opening hand. On our opening turn, we only get 1 Cinder, so we're not able to actually summon any of our units, but any leftover Cinder can stack up to 3. So we're not losing what we didn't spend by passing that first turn. We have Tipu, who is absolutely a monster. Every time he attacks, he gets stronger, more attack and more health. Peacemaker Balaam is able to stun an opposing, not unit, but crew. So I can't stun the captain, but I can stun all of their minions. And then Jailbreak is a big beefy boy who's able to lock up opponents, immobilizing them, forcing them to fight him. We'll move our captain towards the center of the board, I feel, and we will continue to decrease the cost of cards in hand and be able to look to try and seize our moment. Our goal is going to be to let the enemy summon, probably, and then be able to dive in on that opposing unit that they summon to try and get an early elimination and swing things into our favor. The balancing factor, there's effectively a coin flip here, and in any game that's turn-based, whoever goes first has a slight advantage. But to be able to balance this, we only get 3 cards in our opening hand. The opponent gets 4, or they get 4 units out of their initial selection. We have to pay 3 Cinder to be able to get an additional reinforcement to be allowed to summon. So who did they just bring in? They got Deadeye. Smuggler, rogue, ranged unit. So the crosshairs that we're seeing there is that they're ranged, and then the number is how much damage they do, their health here. Release Ozos. Give ranged ally 40% accuracy for 2 turns. Accuracy is decreased by terrain hazards and also range. So, giving them some guaranteed shots on us. They're definitely going to like being able to use that. But we are not going to begrudge them having that bonus too much. It would be kind of fun to drop in our stun unit and then kind of lock up the opposing unit. Right now we'll just use the morale boost. There we go. We could actually get our Peacemaker onto the battlefield. Do I have a range attack? I get 0%. Minus 40 for this vent. Minus 36 for that one. And then the range is taking care of the rest. Let's switch over to movement. Maybe we can find a little bit of a better angle for us. Yeah, 14%.
We got a lead.
Didn't think I'd be able to hit. Now we should bring in something here, I feel like. Begin developing board. We'll get the Peacemaker in, and we'll put the Peacemaker behind cover. Units do give cover as well. The bodies of the units count as cover. So here the Peacemaker. Their stun does cost Cinder, but this is alright. And I've already done boost morale. We'll pass. We have our stun available, so we're going to be able to leverage a lot of crowd control. We just don't have any damage right now. I suppose we're going to be looking for Jailbreak to be able to provide that. He's coming in free, and then our ability into the breach is 2, which will remove the summoning sickness. He's stunned when he appears. And then we can start wailing on Deadeye. Or whoever else they summon here.
Please don't make me mingle.
Ah, Arya. So they have a range build here. Let's see what we're able to do about that. I like Jailbreak to be able to hunt down some of these ranged opposing units, because when he is in base-to-base contact with anything, they are immobilized. They have to stand and fight him. And the ranged units shouldn't fare too well. They finally get the crossing shot. We didn't take any healing, did we? We do have a medic in our deck, but he's not on the bridge right now. We're going to have to reinforce to be able to see if we can acquire him. Here we go. So this is where our plays get a little bigger. We have a range here on the removal of stun that's smaller than our summoning circle. So if we bring in, would I want to lock? Yeah, I would probably like to lock their captain down as well. Let's hop over here. Try and keep some cover from Arya. Look to the bridge. Drop Jailbreak down. Lock both of these guys in place. And then we're going to go Stasis Field.
Take this!
Stun this opponent.
This smacks.
Into the breach. Get Jailbreak activated. Give him the melee attack right here. Love it. Do a ranged attack as well.
Teaching the troops about failure?
Tipu is not ready to come down.
Sleep helps us wake up.
Let's cross here, being ready with the Spore Puff for next turn. And I'm wondering if we want to reinforce or if we just want a lot. We probably just want a lot of Cinder rolling over for a big turn next turn. We've been able to activate Stasis Field for some crowd control. We'll have the Spore Puff for some more stun.
Wakey, wakey.
But they can just remove the stun. Still, it's taxing them their Cinder, which means they're not able to spend it on extra units to beat us up. And it means that they can't summon and then immediately activate another unit, surprising us. Now here, they attacked in melee to Jailbreak, and then Jailbreak is able to counterattack. So units fighting in melee are able to counterattack. Units attacking from range have a chance of missing, which, depending on how far across the battlefield they are, can actually be a really large chance of missing. Lining up with Arya, they're able to get this chip damage in on our captain. If our captain dies, that is the end of the battle. So we do have to be careful. I feel like, right now we're just playing very aggressively. We're saying that the best defense is a good offense. If we can kill their ranged units, then they're not able to whittle us down. We'll see how well this actually pays off.
You must be exhausted.
They have voice lines for all the characters. They have multiple voice lines for all the characters, so hopefully it doesn't become too repetitive, but that, of course, will remain to be seen. Let's go Corrosive Particles, targeting very carefully to only pick up on the enemies. There we go. Jailbreak, light them up. Ooh, and the crit does double damage, and then it adds on one more because of the Corrosive Particles the opponent is done for.
One win, one bug.
Let's get Tipu down. Tipu is going to be a monster. Spore Puff. I hope that we're able to land it. Yes. Alright, now they are stunned. Now we'll hop across. Do a little into the breach on Tipu. Tipu, take it to him. Able to make the attack and then grows larger. I love the mini gets bigger. They did very simple animations, but the ones that they do, very satisfying. I have to say, very satisfying. We've spent all our Cinder. We've activated all of our units. We could still move Tipu.
I got this. Probably.
Yeah, I like moving Tipu. We'll cut around to be able to hit the champ. That was foolish. How am I going to be able to kill Arya next turn? I'm not sure. Let me just log them down here. Okay. How are we going to finish them off? I felt like our leader should have been able to do it, but our leader only does 1 damage.
Welcome the tide. Hello.
What are you? You are a wisp. Whenever an ally in range has depleted movement, refresh it, 5 remaining this turn. So it can support up to 5 allies, which the max you can have on the board at a time is 6. So it can support the entire team and refresh their movement, letting them cross vast distances.
Hey, watch it!
Looks like their game plan right now is still trying to rush my captain down because they understand they're losing tempo on the board. That being the case, I'm not... I mean, I suppose you get kind of locked in with your bridge. We don't have any options. They only have one. They felt like just getting a body on the board was going to help them. But it's now also immobilized from jailbreak. Getting refreshed movement when you're immobilized doesn't help so much, does it? Jailbreak holding down the fort. We're looking... I've built a couple synergies into the list. We'll see how many of them we're able to capitalize on. Oh... Disruptor move units in area apart. Interesting. As I was saying about the synergies that we've tried to build in, having the stuns to connect with Tipu, getting him the attacks to be able to get large enough to be out of hand, that's something that I was certainly trying to incorporate. And then we also have some units that gain bonuses if the opponents have not moved on the previous turn. Well, I want to stun this. 4 damage. Peacemaker. Hang on. What are you? Blind Cider Estli. Fast with bonus attack, and you are now stunned. Okay, so he came in with fast. That's why he's getting the number is green, so it shows that he's being buffed in some way. I'm just going to keep on wailing on your captain here. Because they're a ranged unit, they're not able to counterattack, unfortunately for them.
One win, one bug.
Let's see. We have nothing on the bridge. Do I have any other abilities that I would like to activate? I don't think so. Let's just get the reinforcement. Ah, and that is our medic. I love to see them coming into play here. Who do we want to work on? I do want to kill Arya. I guess I'll do it with the captain. Range.
Bug in your pocket?
Thank you. And then run him down. Make the melee attack. The captains have 20 health, but once you start really biting into it, you realize that it's not that much. Being able to rush down the captain is a viable strategy. So then if you start losing too many pieces, it snowballs out of control. It's a classic strategy game conundrum on how you want to strategize your list. It seems like the unit roster is large enough. We'll take a look at how large it is and what a couple of the standout units are. But it seems large enough to offer a lot of variety even before they start expanding it. This is only the unit roster that's available at early access. I'm sure at full release, there'll be potentially a different faction, more captains. Still whittling away, hey? I don't know if this is helping you. You need to like pull back, summon things, use your range to your advantage.
Go
That's
again?
a miss. You need to get rid of jailbreak, otherwise you're just locked up right here, man. Okay. Bridge. Medic.
Well, that's the most.
Medic comes in. Into the breach.
Rise and shine.
We'll get the stun off you. We'll get the heal on you. We'll make a leap
Such grace.
so that we have much higher hit chance. Score the kill.
I'm in control.
Oh, that gives us a reinforcement. I love it. Now we'll just make our melees. We know we want these. Calculate our turn quickly. Check out what we just got. We got Furia. Furia is a really hard-hitting ranged unit. And then we just keep on locking them down.
You've been working so hard.
Probably move the medic down.
No shame in running. I'll go with.
And we actually have corrosive particles and stasis field, our stun, that are about to come back up. Fantastic. Looks like we are about to rule the opponent up. There's a concede option, but I've seen most opponents just play the game all the way out. Everybody's trying to test things out, see how things really work. People are pretty good sports about letting you finish a match to its full completion. It's really going to be able to summon. Let's check this guy out. We can get in really close. You don't have full freedom of movement with the camera. The devs were saying that the maps are built only for like this view. So we can spin a little bit to try and get a clear view. And you can zoom in quite close. They have Fate Walker, Hand Hun, Season of the Hunt. Choose a unit. If friendly, its next attack is guaranteed to hit. If it's an enemy, it's guaranteed to miss. Ah. Oh, that's so interesting. You could have a sniper shooting across the map, guaranteed to be able to hit with an enormous attack or for the key enemy. This is their particle disruptor beam, going to knock everybody apart. That's finally going to free them from the tyranny of jailbreak. That might have been a move that they wanted to make a while ago. Alright. Tifu, you have really been the champ here, putting out the majority of the team's damage, even though you came in halfway through the battle.
Things that break my bones. Sticks, stones,
That, okay. Victory for our team. And here we get to see a little bit of the progression system. Now this is all going to be reset. Basically the people playing here in the early weekends don't get a head start on anybody in early access. It gets reset when early access actually starts, but you're able to unlock a bunch of cosmetics. And in early access, you're actually going to be unlocking units as well. For these preview weekends, the game is both free and has everything unlocked. So if you're even remotely interested in giving the game a try, right now is absolutely the best time to do it. You get experience on all the units in your list. This is to give what's called unit mastery. As you achieve mastery, you're going to get, I think what it is more advanced animations of when they summon and when they die. And that's going to be some flair for the mastery. You could also be unlocking better paint jobs, but I feel like most of the dedicated players are also going to be doing painting themselves. Oh, we got the recoil profile. Oh, thank you. 10 blanks. Blanks, I suppose, is money. Let's take a look at the painting tool. Some people are going to use it a lot. Some people are never going to touch it. Some people are going to probably play around in the painting tool more than the actual game itself. Let's check out one particularly cool looking unit. Who would we like to? Well, Jailbreak. Jailbreak did pretty well for us in that last one. All right, so let's look at Jailbreak here. And then we look at painting. And then we have the default scheme right here. So we're able to look around at how he is done up all fancy. The devs put a lot of time and effort into this, obviously. And then we are able to move out. Teddy testing. I was just playing around a little bit. We get the blank unit here. Let's go full blank. Can you give me a new one? There we go. New scheme. Okay. Fully blank model. He is here in all of his glory. We have different options here on the right. Let's get my webcam out of the way. All right, webcam's in an odd place, but it is not blocking anything of importance. So you have a paintbrush here that you're able to start slapping down paint however you like. You're able to scale it and whatnot. But what I find amazing, well, what is the undo feature? If anybody has ever been out there painting real miniatures like me, having the undo feature, that's a lifesaver in and of itself. But if you're worried about it being really awkward to try and control the mouse and try and get into details as you would prefer, let's find a good little example target. Okay, so his hand here. Very intricate situation with the mini. What rope is wrapped around and whatnot. If you hold the shift key, it's able to lock on to a specific portion of the model, and you can get the paint into the exact spot that you want, and you don't have any issues with brush strokes. So I think that we're actually going to be able to create some pretty incredible painting concoctions here without having to painstakingly go pixel by pixel in high detail and be worried about misclicking with the mouse or needing some kind of artist apparatus to be able to do the digital art. We are able to set in washes. So if you take a dark wash here, you can go over areas of the model and then just get the color into the recesses. It works quite similar to how a wash would if you are familiar with painting real models. And if you're not, it just brings out the highlights of the model. Very fun to be able to utilize there. And then you can tinker around with a lot of the settings of the opacity of the paints. You have so much granular control. A really cool thing here is that you also have the ability to go into the mixer here. So you can blend paints as you would on an actual palette. And then you can use your paint picker to be able to grab the exact shade that you would like. You can also grab shades off of the model if you've been blending on the model itself. You have the dry brush to be able to pick up the highlights on the upper sides, anything that is a raised surface. So we're trying to dry brush over here. We're just picking up the highlights. And then you have an airbrush, which is going to blend to the paints that are down beneath. The stippling effect, which is good for kind of showing wear and tear. We're just going to do the show off of kind of what they look like. You get the little stippling effect, so some kind of damaged portion or just a texture that you want to create. And then they have decals. No decals are unlocked. They are going to be bringing in more options. We haven't really seen what this is going to look like, but there's a lot of potential here of being able to unlock really flashy, cool decals so that you don't have to freehand some of the more intricate designs that are potentially lore friendly. The lore friendly symbolism should be here in the decals. Of course, if you can freehand it, more power to you. And another amazing thing is that I believe that there is a code for painting. So like if you find an artist online that you really love their work, you should be able to import their designs into your game, share things with your friends. Absolutely love the tool that they designed here, and I think that people are going to be able to do some amazing things. Okay, the final things that we want to touch on is just a quick look at the roster and then a breakdown of the different game modes that they have right now. The game modes are fairly bare bones. You can do the matches with the player. This is the bread and butter of the game. This is what they expect you to be spending most of your time in, unless you're a painting fanatic. You can do matches against the AI. The AI does not seem to be particularly intelligent. You can run the cargo run, which this is the more intelligent AI. You're not playing against another player, but you're doing these challenge matches that will give you progress towards the season track. So if you want more of that offline experience, you can run in here. Also, if you want to test out lists, I have heard that these are going to press your capabilities a lot more than versus AI. So it's best to begin versus the AI, and then you can run your cargo runs if you have a list that you really like and you think is coming together. Finally, let's peek at this roster. Oh, there's so many. Oh no, I set that as the default. So that is another thing you can do, is you can set the default paint job to appear or not. We need to change that back so we're not showing off that look on Jailbreak. Not quite as hot as the default paint job right now. We see everything here in this list. All of these units we have, well, you have three, hang on, sort by, interesting. You're actually not able to sort by captain. There are three captains. If we go to our rosters and we edit the main one here, oh no, because it's the default, I can't edit it. Okay, we're gonna go into ours, edit me, swap me. You have the captain that we were already able to showcase. We have Extilior, who is big centaur robot melee, really rush into your face, take you down kind of character. And then we have Zax Jakar, another kind of sneaky ranged smuggler captain figure. Seems very fun to play around with all these, throwing out mines and gravity discs, manipulating where opponents are on the map. They all are going to have very distinct play styles and be able to synergize with vastly different lists. Back to the full roster here, there are three different cultures that they have created within the game's lore. There's going to be a lot of releases that are going to add lore to the characters if you love diving into that stuff. You get a little bit of flavor text here, but as I said, this is from the creative mind of Brandon Sanderson, and they have another guy that has been working on really a lot of world building, fleshing it out. There's going to be audio episodes releasing that break down more of what is going on here in the Moonbreaker world, and I'm really excited to be diving into that as well and figuring out more about the different cultures, all the captains. Eventually, there's going to be, I believe, 9 different captains, and the devs are ready to support this for years. They have already designed units that are going to be ready years from now and have a release pipeline established. In early access, I'm sure things are still subject to change to release pace based on players' feedback. So if you guys are interested in this game, then joining in now can help you tailor it to be the best possible experience for everybody. I have only played a few matches so far, and I've already seen an enormous variety in terms of different lists popping up. I saw one guy using the scatter vine, which is able to spawn additional scatter vines and just spam out this one unit as the entire backbone of his force. I saw other people using, heavily leaning onto the turrets and automated drones and whatnot to be able to have big area of effect damage, but have to kind of lock themselves to a particular part of the map. There's a lot of interesting things going on here, and I can't wait to see how the game continues to develop. That is going to do it for our early look here at Moonbreaker. I'm going to be doing a lot more coverage for the game. Very excited for that. If you guys want to see when those future videos come out, then you can subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a thumbs up. That's what helps promote it to the rest of the community, get this shown to more and more people. The game's really combining a number of different things that I absolutely love, so I am so excited to be continuing to cover this one. Until next time, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.